Welcome to the TSD Mindfulness video for meditation number 6. So I'll lead you through the meditation in a few minutes, but before each meditation, I have some instructions. So today, the instruction is going to be about relinquishing point. And so to explain that concept, imagine a puppy who's wants to play and play and play and has all this energy. And then all of a sudden, he just kind of gives up and goes and lays down and falls asleep. The puppy has hit its relinquishing point. It's done. Another example would be a child who really, really wants something really bad and finally gets to a point where it realizes, you know what, this isn't going to happen. My parent isn't going to let me have this or whatever it is. And the child just kind of sighs and walks away. The child has hit a relinquishing point. So this is a shift that happens in consciousness. And we also experience this shift sometimes while we are meditating, and it's part of the mental field. It's a shift that happens in the mental field, which is our thinking versus our nervous system versus our heart, which is associated with our deep emotions. So what happens is our thinking is like that puppy or that child, and the thinking wants this, it wants to get this done, it wants to figure this out. And then after a certain period of time in the meditation, this thinking part of you just kind of hits the relinquishing point and kind of gives up. And it's a very nice feeling because then you're just kind of like, just kind of have this sigh feeling, and you kind of let go of this need to do something with your thinking, to figure something out, for example. So that's what I mean by relinquishing point. So when we use single pointed focus, we often will experience this relinquishing point. And this is when your attention shifts away from the hustle of your day. So that's a lot what's happening. Sometimes we're just like boom, 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 like processing everything that's happened or thinking about what's going to happen. So it shifts away from that, shifts away from the hustle of your day. It releases your attachment to outcomes. So that's another thing that our thinking does. It's like really attached to the way things are going to work out. And what do I need to do to make sure this works out? Or what can I think about to kind of support this working out in this way, or whatever it is. So that's part of the relinquishing point, is letting go of how things are going to work out. And the relinquishing point, you're also relinquishing your urges to attend to something that's not part of your meditation. Right? Because that's going to be very distracting. We're thinking about all these things that are not part of your meditation, and your consciousness, your thinking, your mental field kind of lets go of that need to attend to something that's outside of your meditation. So it's a very good feeling. For me, this happens approximately about 30 minutes into my meditation. And you might return to this attachment and distraction. So you might hit your relinquishing point, and then maybe a few minutes later, you go back to attachment and distraction. However, with practice, you can get back to your relinquishing point more easily. And what strengthens your ability to get back to your relinquishing point is the ability to be mindful of the phenomenon, to be mindful of when it's happening. So study what happens during this point. Notice if there's a certain physical sensation you might feel. Notice, some people say that they notice a certain color in their consciousness, with their eyes closed, or maybe you just notice a certain level of stillness. For me, it's my jaw. It's physical for me. I notice this releasing in my jaw. And so when I feel my jaw releasing, I know, I've kind of hit that letting go part. And the fact that I know that, and I'm so familiar with that, then I can't actually explain why, but it's easier for me to get back to that relinquishing point if I kind of lose my focus, lose my letting go at some point again. So in this moment, your consciousness has succumbed to the emptiness and decided that less is more, and accepted that void is more fulfilling than fullness, right? So you're sitting in the void, you're sitting in the less, in the quiet. Less is more. All right. So there is actually a sheet. If you're part of a TSD mindfulness program, then you have access to this sheet, which I'll share here. So this is the sheet on the mindfulness of your relinquishing point, and basically goes over the ideas that I just shared with you now. All right, so we're going to go ahead and begin the meditation. Go ahead and close your eyes if they're not already closed. And your body can be in any position. However, if you're lying down, it might be more likely that you'll fall asleep. So sitting up can be nice. And let's begin with 3 relaxing breaths. Deep breath in. As you exhale, let your shoulders relax. Another deep breath in. And as you exhale, let your abdominal muscles relax. One more deep breath in. And as you exhale, see if you can let the muscles in your forehead relax. And we're going to begin with single pointed focus, which means you're going to choose something to focus on, whether it's your breath or physical sensations in your body or sounds in your environment. I'll let you choose that on your own. Just notice this aspect that you're paying attention to in detail. And if you notice that you're getting distracted, that's okay. Just notice that you're distracted. You might even be curious, what type of thinking is it that distracted you? And you might even name that type of thinking. Was it planning thinking? Was it task thinking? Was it worry thinking? And then bring your attention back to your point of focus. I'd like you to check in with the quality of your attention. What type of attention are you bringing to the moment? Are you focused or distracted? Either is fine. It's just about being aware. Are you in judgment? Having judgment about the way you're meditating, or judgment about something in your environment or in your body? Or are you more neutral? Are you curious? Are you curious about your point of focus, the details? Or are you instead experiencing your meditation as a task, something you need to complete? However you're experiencing your attention is fine. It's just about being aware and noticing that, yes, this is the type of attention that I'm bringing to this moment. Sometimes we think thoughts because we don't think just paying attention to our point of focus is enough, that we need to be doing something more. So remind yourself, my breath is enough. This sound is enough. Don't need anything more. I don't need to think about anything more. Paying attention to my body is enough. Continuing to pay attention to your point of focus, noticing the details, using your mindfulness to notice if paying attention to your point of focus brings you stillness. If your attention gets distracted, you might be curious about what the thinking is that distracted you. Name it. This is rumination. This is work thinking. What type of thinking is it? Continuing to focus on your point of focus, and you can shift from one point of focus to another if you'd like. You can shift from your breath to your body, or from your body to sounds in your environment. And noticing if there's any sign of a relinquishing point. It might be too early, but just notice if there's any sign that your mental field is just kind of giving up and letting go of the need to figure things out, attend to things outside your meditation. Think about knowing the outcome of certain events. Is your mental field letting go of any of that? Are you getting any closer to your relinquishing point? And if you are, what are you experiencing? Does it feel a certain way? Do you notice a certain something? And then if you feel ready, I'd like you to move your attention to your abdomen area. So not paying attention so much to your point of focus anymore, but moving your attention to your abdomen area, noticing the physical sensations there. Noticing if there's any tightness. If there is some strain, it might be an indication that your nervous system is triggered to some degree. Or you might not notice any strain. Your nervous system might be completely calm. But either way, it's good to practice some soothing of your nervous system. You might use some safety affirmations. I am safe in my body. I am safe to experience my emotions. You can use your mindfulness to notice if these safety affirmations are bringing any calmness and stillness to your nervous system. And again, if you become distracted, just notice what kind of thinking may have been distracting. Name it. Bring your attention back to your abdominal area. Continuing with your safety affirmations. I'm safe even when I sit here and do nothing. I'm safe even when I sit here and do nothing. Notice if safety affirmations help soothe your nervous system, help soothe the muscles in your abdomen area, help bring a calmness to your body. When you soothe your nervous system, you can really feel it physically. It's just a physical stillness, physical calm. You might consider something that brings you feelings of stability to help soothe your nervous system. You might think of a relationship that helps you feel very stable, or your job, or your home, or something from nature. Go ahead and think about that aspect of your life and notice if thinking about that soothes your nervous system, soothes your abdominal muscles. Again, if you get distracted, just notice what that might be, or you can name it. Just thinking if you'd like. Oh, that's thinking. It's not important. Just going to move my attention back to my abdominal area, soothing my nervous system. Even taking some deep breaths can be soothing to your nervous system. Really feeling those breaths in your abdomen area. If you feel ready, move your attention to your heart area, at your chest. What physical sensations do you feel there? Isn't there any tightness? Any tingling? Or maybe you feel nothing and that's fine too. You might even feel numbness. You might be aware of that. It's not important what you're noticing, specifically, just the fact that you're noticing, you're paying attention, you're in the moment, present with your heart area. Again, if you get distracted, just bring your attention back to your heart area. You can use your point of focus that you used in the beginning of the meditation as an anchor if you'd like, helping that ground you into the experience. And I'd like you to consider an aspect of your life, something that's going on for no other reason, that it's just something going on in your life. And then say to yourself, I don't know the outcome of this event in my life, and that's okay. And use your mindfulness to notice what comes up for you when you practice embracing uncertainty. Does it bring up fear? Does it bring up a release and responsibility? Maybe try something else, choosing something else, another aspect of your life. I don't know the outcome of this event in my life either, and that's okay. Invite yourself to feel some freedom in the uncertainty, a letting go, a releasing of responsibility. The letting go of knowing helps you deepen your consciousness within your heart because there's no actual knowing in your heart. It's just some emotions, some feelings, surrender. Allow any emotions to come up that might surface, whether they feel good, like gratitude or love, or they feel painful, like rejection or betrayal. But just creating that space for that authentic experience to present itself. And if you don't notice any emotions, that's fine too. You're just allowing the space for them to be there if they decide to materialize. And you can give yourself compassion. I am loved. I'm worthy of love. I am connected. Sometimes life, it makes us feel disconnected and isolated, but when we're deep in our heart, we are connected. We're connected to the people that we love. And I am a good person. But despite any circumstances, despite any frustration that might come up about your own meditation practice or things coming up in your life that feel hard, reminding yourself, I am a good person. And then sitting with waiting for awareness of divine flow. Divine flow energy is always moving through you, but we're not always conscious of it. So intentionally waiting, being patient for you to become more conscious of this divine flow energy. You might not know what you're waiting for, and that's okay. And a trust, sitting in trust, trusting that divine flow exists, even though maybe you can't see it or feel it in this moment. Trusting that divine flow exists for you. Divine flow exists to support you, having trust in that. And if there's doubt, that's fine too. Just be aware of the doubt. And let go of the thinking that might be creating that doubt. And trust that divine flow has a perfect path for you. Just to practice in developing patience and becoming aware of divine flow moving through you, and also patience And just kind of disconnecting from your mental field, disconnecting from that thought process, disconnecting from relying on your mental field to keep you safe. A patience and trust and letting go of your gut field, letting go of relying on your gut field to keep you safe. Just instead shifting your security in divine flow. Well, welcome back. I hope you had a wonderful meditation. Check out our website at tsdmind.org. T as in tame, S as in soothe, D as in dwell, mind as in mindfulness.org. This concludes the TSD Mindfulness video for meditation number 6.